Welcome back to the Boxing Network, Bart, and today we're going to talk about Caleb Plant versus Canelo Alvarez. This is going to be an entertaining fight for this Saturday. I cannot wait for this fight. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Okay, so Saturday, I've heard a lot about this fight. I think the majority, 70% of the people that I spoke to are going for Canelo, which is not bad. It's not bad. I give Caleb Plant a good chance of beating Canelo over the weekend. Unfortunately, not high, but I'm going to break the fight down for you guys as well as talk a little more about these two fighters. So let's get started with Canelo Saul Alvarez. His actual name is Saul Alvarez, better known as Canelo Alvarez. 56 fights, 38 KOs, one loss to Floyd Mayweather, which we're going to get into that later on, and 2 draws. Now, Canelo is from Mexico. We all know that. Some say he is the best Mexican fighter ever already. I personally think that he is not yet, but he is on the route. He's on the way to getting there to being the best Mexican fighter ever. Then we got Caleb Plant, better known as Sweet Hands. Mr. Sweet Hands got 21 victories, 12 KOs, 0 losses, and no draws. Now, Sweet Hands, that's what he's known for. Sweet Hands got beautiful hands, but minimum punching power. So that's a bummer. And how is he going to put up? What is he going to do when it comes to the pressure that Canelo is going to put on him, going straight forward and landing those big, heavy shots? It's one of those things that we will have to sit back, relax, and watch what happens. Now, Canelo has improved a lot since the loss of Floyd Mayweather Jr., as he should. For a lot of people complain about this or making a comment, well, Mayweather made him, and no, he did not. Canelo Alvarez did learn a lot from the loss of Floyd Mayweather, just like every other great or either even good or mediocre fighter does once they have a loss. They go back, they see what they did wrong, and then they recover from that. That is what they're supposed to do. Even in victory, you look back and you see what you did right and what you did wrong and how to improve. That's just called learning your craft. So I don't put much emphasis on that whole thing versus, Canelo and Mayweather. Now, what do I put emphasis on? GGG, Lara, also Mayweather, and Miguel Cotto, especially Mayweather, gave Canelo a hell of a fight. They gave him a really tough fight, especially, of course, we know he lost against Mayweather, but a lot of people think that he lost to Lara. And what did Lara do? Lara boxed the living hell out of him. I myself gave it to Canelo by 1 round. I just watched the fight last night before I made this video. I gave it to Canelo by 1 round. Now, the GGG fight, the first one I gave it to Triple G. The second one I gave it to Canelo. Now, you could have seen the first fight and thought it was a draw. I did not. I gave the fight to Triple G. The second fight, I gave it to Canelo because he not only applied pressure, but he had positive pressure, meaning it was the whole thing about just going forward. He was being active. He was throwing the heavier shots. Even though we saw Triple G do something we normally never see him do, which is fight in the back foot, but he was still very good at it. For me, Miguel Cotto gave him a hell of a good fight. Again, I gave that fight to Canelo, but I saw Miguel Cotto give him a hell of a good fight. The issue here is that Sweet Hands doesn't have the power of Triple G. I'm yet to see, or a lot of us haven't seen if he does have the same boxing skill as a Lara. He does not possess anything that Mayweather has. And then when it comes to Cotto was just, I don't know, Cotto was just a hell of a good fighter. And we all know that. Now, like Roger Mayweather said, you don't know about boxing. Most of the people don't. Plant is going to try to outbox Canelo. If he try to stay there and trade with him, he's going to lose. He's going to get hit to the body a lot. We all know that. Canelo's going to feint, and then he's going to come up with an overhand right and might be able to catch him. But we haven't seen Canelo take on a big fighter as is Sweet Hands. Now, here's the thing. We've seen Canelo out there and outbox a lot of fighters, but we've never seen him fight a true super middleweight, a 168 pounder. I don't want to hear about, who that got dropped and he lost. He made 101 excuses or whatever the case. I don't even want to talk about that guy. But Canelo versus David Benavidez is a hell of a good fight, but it will not happen, not in the near future, if Canelo doesn't get past Plant. We also saw what happened to Billy Joe Sanders versus Canelo. I think Billy Joe Sanders was doing really good until he got caught with that crazy uppercut that Canelo threw, bust his eye socket, and we all know what happened from there. Billy Joe Sanders did quit. He quit and made another 101 excuses. Now, the thing here in this fight is going to determine a lot of how Sweet Hands Caleb Plant is able to maneuver Canelo in his ring generalship. If he is not only in the back foot, but sometimes apply the right pressure, goes forward, don't get carried away. What I mean by that is don't fall in love with your combination. You go in there, you throw no more than 3-4 punch combination, and you pivot out 1-2-3 combination, and then you pivot out the other way. If you're gonna step back, do back pivot, or just one back pivot. Don't go back, because at that third back, and if you are a boxing fanatic and you know about boxing, you know what I'm talking about. Therefore, if he goes back 3 times, Canelo would just throw that straight right or come in with a hook and might be able to catch him. The other thing the Plant needs to do is keep that left foot in the outside of Canelo foot so that he could always have the an exit way out once he does his combination. I don't think Caleb Plant is afraid of Canelo. He is a fighter, and Caleb Plant does not know how to lose. He's never lost before at the professional ranks. He hasn't lost yet. Therefore, Canelo is going to have to beat it out of him. Canelo is going to have to go in there and be a dog and beat Caleb Plant to the point where Caleb Plant start doubting himself. Until that happens, this fight would not go down, meaning that Caleb Plant is not just going to lay there. Caleb Plant is going to come to fight. He's fighting for what happened with his daughter, his family, and everything else. Now, talking about Lara again, and why is this so important? Because Lara did a great job with Canelo. Lara, for my opinion, Lara was able to box Canelo from the outside, stay in the outside, his combination again, and then he moved. The thing is, Caleb Plant is bigger than Lara and might have somewhat of the same boxing skills. We yet to see. We haven't seen Caleb Plant Sweet Hands in there with a true, really good, level A boxer. We have a fighter. We haven't seen it. And again, Plant is no Triple G. He doesn't possess his power. He doesn't possess I don't know about the chin, because I've seen Caleb Plant get hurt, but he continues fighting. He has some loss. He gets up and he wins. So it could be one of those things like Tito Trinidad. Trinidad went down. We all know that before the third round. He got up. That woke them up. He kept on fighting. It could be the same thing with Caleb Plant. We don't know that. One thing we do know is that Caleb Plant will come to fight. And the other thing we need to assume here, we don't know this for sure, is that Canelo Alvarez needs to assume he needs to go out there and assume his role being the pressure maker going forward and landing some heavy shots. Now, is Caleb Plant going to allow him to do that? We don't know. We don't know. We do know that is Canelo Alvarez forte. That's what he does. That's what he's known for. I think Caleb Plant is going to make a great effort. Unfortunately, my prediction for this fight is that Caleb Plant is going to get Plant to the ground. He is not going to get back up. He will get hurt in this fight. And unfortunately, I don't think he possesses the skill to learn how to hold and try to get away from the ropes. I think once Canelo has him in the rope, he's going to let his hands go. Caleb Plant is going to try. He is going to try to trade with Canelo, and that is what's going to be the end of him. I think at first Caleb Plant's going to keep on. He's going to box him. He's going to have beautiful boxing skills. It's going to be, in a way, outboxing Canelo. But then after that, Canelo is going to find a way how to get to the body and then the head. And it's the old saying in boxing, if you chop the tree, the body of the tree, the head will fall, meaning that Canelo's going to go to the body and then he's going to go up and finish him at the top and then maybe go back to the body and finish Plant. That is my prediction. I want to thank you guys for listening to this podcast. I want to encourage you guys to go right ahead and subscribe, like, and comment. So, apologize for that. I'm doing these things while I'm working. So subscribe, like, and comment. And just to tell you guys a little bit about myself, I'm going to be also teaching a financial class. So that's what I do for a living. But and I'm also an author. But my passion, my enjoyment when I'm not working is boxing. Both my kids box. Actually going to the Pals this weekend. So let's see what happens in Palanca, Florida. See what happens there. Hopefully one of them at least will come back with a W. It's a 3-day tournament. So thank you guys for everything. Catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.